paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
Well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Welcome, everybody. The Brainstorm Brewery.
Great job.
Perfect.
Good job, Ben. All right, welcome in, everybody. It is the holidays here in the States and possibly where you live as well. We hope you're enjoying them. I am here joined by my 5-year-old Benjamin, who is going to help us in this Christmas special episode grade our specs.
We are going through our TCG player order history for the three of us, all the way back to 2011, 2012, so about a decade, and we are going to have Corbin's wonderful 5-year-old son grade our purchases and evaluate how good we are at this whole finance thing.
We've had a request for this. I have no idea what I'm going to find.
Dad?
We found out I have 71 orders.
Dad, there is one game that we haven't played on the computer in a while. It's Cookie Clicker.
It's Cookie Clicker?
Uh-huh. That one?
Do you like Cookie Clicker?
Yes.
Jason likes Cookie Clicker, and so do I.
Yeah.
I don't know if DJ does.
I like cooking them clickies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they do that in the for those little Mario Plus videos they like.
Okay.
They have, when they're having the all-nighter and stuff. That one. We just said, I want some Cookie Clicker.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
So-
Luigi plays Cookie Clicker?
Until we can get his game called Piffle.
Oh, I see.
It was kind of crazy.
Okay, buddy. All right. So, we've confirmed that he is 5. How old are you?
5.
When's your birthday?
Day 6.
All right. He knows it. He's 5. Let's start with this order history. I'm going to start things off with a classic here. My first one, January 10th, 2012. 94 cards ordered at 50 cents each.
Oh, can I guess what this one is?
You can.
Is this a certain green elemental creature?
This one might be the Splinter Frights. Ben, what do you think? Is this card good?
Yes.
You think so? I thought so.
They're on your desk right now. Like, you still have them. They
They're
have
right
to
here
be.
somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, that does look like a pretty good one.
My third TCG player order on this account was 58 copies of Seance at 15 cents each. So I guess I started the account right when I started doing MTG Finance. My second order is 12 copies of Goryo's Vengeance at $1.75 each. So this used to be easy, and I used to be really good at this. Because lately my orders are much worse. It's 7 copies of Concordant Crossroads for $7 each or $11 each, and it said you've been issued a refund in the amount of $77.
Yeah,
It's just all these canceled orders like, hey, 25 Goblin Rabble Masters at $2. You've been issued a $50 refund. So like at the beginning it was just me being like, oh yeah, foil food chain for $13. And then at the end it's like buying cards for decks, it looks like.
I've got a good one here that I would like. Corbin, can you pull up the card Hammer of Perforos for Ben to look at?
Sure.
All right, so I've got a TCG player order. This is September 29th, 2013. I purchased 27 total copies of Hammer of Perforos for roughly $2 a piece.
I bought 27 copies of Hammer Perforos for $2.44 on September 29th, 2013.
So we were... Wow.
Were we even casting together at that point?
No, I was not. I might have listened to the cast and purchased it based on somebody's recommendation.
Possibly mine if I bought 27 copies. But I'm not going to suck my own deck too much because 6 days later, I bought 32 copies of Advent of the Worm for $3.50 each. A total of $111 just lit on fire.
Well, we need to. You might be able to hold on to those and sell them for more in the future. So let's get Ben's opinion on if these cards have potential future value.
Ben, what do you think? Do you like this one?
Yes.
You think it's good?
Uh-huh.
What does that look like?
A hammer.
It is a hammer.
Hammers are strong.
What is the current value of Hammer Perforos on TCG Player?
What do you think?
Ben, do you think it's more or less than $1 right now?
More for
More for sure.
Well, that's certainly what I thought.
Let's just take his word for it. I don't want to.
I'm not even going to check.
We're not going to get too much into the weeds here. We're not going to like dig up all the data. So
Yes, definitely
Ben.
don't look up the current price of Advent of the Worm.
Yeah, I've got a couple highlights here from 2012. I like this one. 19 scape shifts at $1.99 each.
Guys.
Whew.
Which card should we pull up next?
This one, buddy. This is one your dad did very well on. So what do you think about this one? What do you think?
That one might be pretty good.
Might be pretty good. What does it look like?
A forest.
A forest? But what is that?
Mushroom.
No, it's not a mushroom.
It's a fish.
In a forest?
This episode of this podcast, do we remember the date? Was it 2011 or 2012?
Fish in a forest. That's silly.
I want to say it was 2012.
I think that might be like. What should we?
I've got a pretty good one here. In 2015, I bought looks like at least somewhere between 1 and 200 copies of Battlefield Thaumaturge
Ooh.
Oh gosh.
for
man.
89 cents a piece.
I mean, that's probably what they're worth now. Ooh, guys, I found a spicy one. Listen to this. October 8th, 2012. So I was on Brainstorm Brewery at that point. 5 copies of Tristani Selesnia's voice for $13 each.
I bought those too. I remember that. I
I
didn't.
remember that.
I bought
didn't-
Ian at 13. What the fuck was I doing?
No. So that one wasn't even on TCG because I remember that was the first Magic cards I purchased on Amazon because I couldn't find any like good deals on TCG. So I went to Amazon and bought foils for like $13 a piece. I bought like 10 of them,
Oh.
and then the next day I was like, the Green White God's the only one that hasn't gotten spoiled from Born of the Gods. It's gonna be so good. Like the Green White God, it's gonna curve into it. Tristani's 4 mana symbols for devotion, perfect.
It did curve into it.
Yeah.
That it did. That it did.
That it
6
did.
copies of Treat the Angels for $14 at the time. That might have been good.
Corbin,
You
pull
might
up Tristani for our guest.
All right, Ben.
We
What do you
need,
think about
we
this
need
one?
Ben's help for this one because I think I still have 1 or 2 of those in a box somewhere.
So
Okay.
here's another thing I used to do when we would
This one I
podcast.
don't know about.
You don't know about?
So here's another thing I used to do when we would podcast. I wouldn't drink 1 or 2 beers. I would drink 3 or 4 beers. And by the time the cast ended, we got around to our picks of the week. I would get pretty salty. So on December 12th, 2012, I think I was particularly salty. Here's an order for 48 copies of Master of the Pearl Trident for $1.95 each.
Can you tell me what you think about this one, Ben?
Can you bring up Master of the Pearl Trident for Ben? Ben, what's your opinion on merfolk as a tribe?
Perfect.
Do you know what a merfolk is? No. Can you guess?
No.
Oh. What do you think about this one, buddy?
Good.
Do you think it's good?
If I want
And we've lost Ben.
When I was 5 years old, they brought me onto this podcast, and I had almost the same experience where I was able to sit through like maybe 30 minutes of an episode, then we had to re-record, and then it was a whole thing. But I'm all grown up now. I'm an adult, and Ben's gonna go through the same experience. Oh, what do we got there, Corbin? What is this?
Shout out to Quiver, by the way. It's what everyone at EDA Trek got for the holidays was a Quiver. These are great, by the way. It looks like Ben's returning to us. All right, buddy. We need your opinion on this one. You said you weren't sure about it. What do you think?
perfect.
You think it's perfect now? Good. It was perfect. It curved right into Karametra.
Can we have Ben on every cast just to validate our picks?
No kidding.
It's like when an octopus picks the winner of the World Cup by picking which country has the most yellow on their flag. He'll be right. He'll be right more than I was in 2012. Listen to this. September 29, 2013, 16 copies of Ashiok Nightmare Weaver. $19.87 each.
$20. That's the original Theros Ashiok.
That's original Theros, baby.
Ooh.
I probably made money. I hope I got out fast.
No kidding. I've got some orders in here from 2012 that look okay. Some Resto Angels, some Blade Splicers 2014. I haven't found anything that was just great yet, though.
Oh, listen to this. 19 copies of Exquisite Blood for 75 cents each. 26 copies of Exquisite Blood for 77 cents each. I don't have any of those copies anymore. I probably sold them for $3. I probably wrote an article about how I quadrupled up because I'm so good at this.
Oh.
Silly.
I found
Like,
one.
That one's pretty good. I'll give you that for sure.
Like, if you don't have any of the cards, did you even like? If you can't find them 5 years later, did you even benefit?
We just assume that we made money. I've got 8 Lab Maniacs here at 22 cents a piece. So that's not bad.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Yeah, that one is
And
not
then
bad.
lately, it's all personal orders. It's like I bought one Vona's Hunger for $1.14. I paid 78 cents shipping for a card that my LGS had in the dollar box. Unreal. Oh, here's an order for a borderless Cyclonic Rift, a Parallel Lives, and a Cyclonic Rift from Original Magic Art. This is what I do with TCG Player now. I buy cards from Original Magic Art, who we still have an affiliate code with. What's the affiliate code? Brew Crew?
Yes.
Yeah. If you're going to go to the OMA website, which you should, because he just, if you're following OMA on Twitter, and you should, just showed a new series of canvas prints, and one of them was the Jace the Mind Sculptor art on a canvas print, and it's just gorgeous. You know, you get that in a nice mat, a nice frame. You got yourself a stew, baby. So support Original Magic Art by buying their cards on TCG Player, and by using the code Brute Crew when you buy stuff from the OMA website. Not that they sponsor us anymore, but we still want to support them. That it's a good thing that we let them think that we wouldn't shout them out for free, because we absolutely will.
All right, here, I'm curious how you guys think I did on this one. 2014, looks like I bought about 40 forked bolts at 50 cents.
Oh, at the time? Ooh.
Maybe good, maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, forked bolt for Legacy and Modern? Yeah,
It was good for a minute, yeah.
6 months later, I bet those were $4 each.
You say that. I'll spoil. I have a recent order history for 60 Hunt the Hunter. Do you know what that one is?
Is it a Theros card?
Is that a magic card, or is that from Force of Will or something?
It's a Theros card that makes a green creature fight another green creature or something like that.
Okay.
And if you'll recall, there was a hot moment where in Pioneer, mono green with like Galta and stuff was one of the most popular decks. And the tech of Hunt the Hunter for the sideboard mirror was very important. So I bought 100 or something. I bought a bunch of Hunt the Hunted or Hunt the Hunters at about 50 cents each, and that one has not worked out.
This is depressing me in a way that I didn't anticipate, because I thought I'd be like, man, I was bad at this, but like it was like I bought 15 copies of Liliana of the Dark Realms for $4, and they're 20 now, and I don't know where those cards are.
All right, Corbin, speaking of hunting cards from Theros, pull up Reverent Hunter from the original Theros.
All right, let's look at Reverent Hunter.
Reverent Hunter. This is a card I purchased. It looks like it's across a number of orders, but it looks like there's like 25 of them or so. I paid $1 each on. I think Mono Green Devotion was the hot tech for a minute. This is a 3-mana 1/1 ETB with counters equal to the number of Devotion, and I think it has Trample too. I'm gonna need an expert opinion on this spec.
It doesn't even have Trample. That's the rough
It doesn't
part.
have okay. That's fine. It's still big. You can give it
It is
trample
big.
with
It is
Nylea.
big.
Nylea gives it trample.
Ben, what do you think about this one, buddy?
Nah.
Nah, why not?
Nah.
Look what he's got.
I don't know what that is. A bow and arrow?
Yeah, like in...
Zelda.
That's right, like in Zelda. But you don't like this one?
Nah, nope.
Yeah, he says no, DJ.
Ben, what do you think of the card Lightning Angel? Lightning Angel. At 85 cents, does that sound like a low-risk spec and you practically can't lose money buying at 85 cents? Because I still have all 20 copies and they're worth half that.
I will.
How did I whiff buying in at 85 cents? You can't pay less than that
they
for a card on
Mantis,
TCG Player.
They printed Mantis Rider.
This was Hot Legacy. No, Hot Modern Tech for a minute.
It was modern for, this card, it at some point saw some play.
I don't know what that looks.
I will
You don't
never
really
financially
like
recover from this.
See, then you tell me what it looks.
Well, to me, Ben, it looks like an angel flying, and then there's some lightning around her. So it's a lightning.
It looks like every music video that band Live did in the 90s. Remember that Christian rock band Live?
I don't. I have to keep pawing through to find orders that are specs and not just me buying Commander stuff.
Listen to this. 58 copies of Seance, 20 copies of Seance, 67 copies of Seance, 22 copies of Seance, 12 copies of Seance, 18 copies of Seance, 18 copies of Seance, 37 copies of Seance. That was a big day on TCG Player. And then I capped it off by paying $6 a piece on 20 copies of D-Sphere. I bought in at 6 on a non-mythic imprint rare. Oh man. I used to be so medium at this.
All right, Ben has agreed to look at one more card for us.
Then we're
He
done.
says your specs are boring. All right, Ben, look at this one, buddy. I bought 25 Crucible of Fires, and I do still have these, and I know where they are. For how much did we pay? 40 cents each. Whew, not bad. What do you think about this one, buddy?
Nah.
Nah? You don't think Crucible of Fire is a good spec?
Got a dragon on it.
It's got a dragon on it.
Hey, come on. Not really. Like, I would say no.
It says no, no, no.
To a card with dragons on it?
Bye.
Dude, I think Ben is a future jock. If he looks at a Magic card with a dragon on it and calls it a bad spec, I don't know, man. I think he's going to be taking balls from Blake Griffin Jr. in the future. I don't know if he's going to be on the Magic podcast.
Podcast?
Yeah.
Your last card.
Yeah, if you're done.
I'm not
Can I say
done.
bye?
Not done.
Not done.
Okay, well, let's keep looking then.
All right, I've got
Torment of
one.
Hailfire was $5 in February 2021, and I only bought 4 copies.
Oh, wow. That is not very long ago.
One stolen strategy for $3. I bought one stolen strategy. Kill me. I'm so bad at this.
All right, no, listen to this. This is from 2018, so it is a bit more recent, but $15.99 each for 26 copies of Treachery.
Oh, you did it.
No kidding.
I probably sold them very shortly after for 25 and was super happy.
I doubled up. I did it. Reserve list stuff. You always just double up on reserve list stuff, and then, oh, listen to this. Prophet of Crufix, 35 copies at $1.69 each. A full refund was issued on January 13th.
Oh, not nice. Not nice at all.
And I would have still had them when it got banned. I would have eaten a $200 dick.
That's how I feel looking at
for canceling my order.
That's how I feel looking at this. Because, I'm like, oh, I have Phyrexian Unlives. I bought 20 Phyrexian Unlives in 2015 for 75 cents each. Oh, that's a great deal. But then it's scroll a little more and it's Scourge of the Thrones. It's I remember buying those. I made a lot of money on them, and then I just held on to them until I went back down in price.
Yeah, until they...
Anything?
What is it? Hold it.
Not knowing what we sold these for, you got to wonder if we made any money. I could go in my sales history and see if I have all these Exquisite Bloods going out for $2.
Some money.
Hey.
All right, Corbin, you might like this one. This is, it looks like 35 or so copies of Spreading Seas in 2016 for roughly 70 cents a piece.
Oh yeah, let's go. Jason and I had a Master of the Pearl Trident spec in there too in the early dates. I remember Jason Troll bought those, if I recall.
Yeah.
Jason was telling me how terrible. Oh, Merfolk's so good, isn't it? Oh, it's the best set. Oh, it's so good. I'm just gonna go buy all that new Pearl Trident.
I did. I bought so many copies and I just sold them for $5 each. I think Ogre was paying $5 store credit at a GP and I just gave him like 60 of them.
You're welcome.
I mean, I doubled up. Oh, you know what? I used that store credit to buy Black Bordered Tron for like $2 each. So, Troll and Corbin actually paid off super well. Oh my god. That was GP Montreal. I got out of Master of the Pearl Trident for $5 store credit and got $2 Black Bordered Tron. My god, I'm so good at this.
Yes, I am. You're welcome.
Just pooping on Corbin. This is why we do it. Everyone's like, "Are you guys even friends? Why is everyone so mean to Corbin?" Look what happens when I'm mean to Corbin.
It's profitable, I guess. That's what you're saying. Yeah.
The data doesn't lie.
It's true.
Neither does Ben.
It's true. Well, I gotta say, it looks like my order history has become progressively less and less good. A little bit along with Jason. I say that though. I've got 16. What my last large spec of recent times out that did okay was I got Coastal Breaches at $2. What is that card up to now?
Coastal
Coastal
Breach?
Breach?
That's an 8th edition.
$6.
Oh, no, that's the bounce spell from the Commander set.
Yep.
Whew.
Yeah, that one worked out all right. I know I bought some Piers and whatever the
Pier and Toothy.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of Toothies that did okay, but don't worry, those Splinter Frights, those the Hunteds, for all I know, those Forked Bolts just got bulked out because they're not worth anything anymore. There's some misses in there, but it is nice to know we have some hits as well.
My most recent order is from this week, 5 days ago on TCG Direct. I bought 200 copies of Ingenious Infiltrator for 50 cents a piece.
Okay.
That is the Modern Horizons uncommon ninjutsu card that whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card.
That seems fine.
I hope so. If it's reprinted,
If Kentaro the Smiling Cat can be $15 this week, I think that was probably pretty good.
I just have to make sure it's not in the Commander precons, and then I will be scot-free. I will get to use my substitution jutsu and swap all these ingenious infiltrators for actual money.
It looks like I bought 30 Nettle Sentinels at 90 cents each back in 2015.
That seems fine.
Yeah.
If I made money on them after that, it seems fine. That card's nothing now.
Oh, I made the worst.
Let's hope.
I made the worst financial investment. Listen to this. I bought in its entirety a deck to play Pioneer. It was feather, so like the feathers were $2 and every other card in the deck was 9 cents, but still.
I apparently last year in September snagged an Underground Sea for $300 on TCG, and it was LP.
Oh, that's
Hey,
all fun.
who has two thumbs and paid $25 for an Urborg in February of this year? This guy. What do they know?
I found my other TCG player account.
Oh, they're still $25. Okay.
It looks like I bought 15 Scour glasses at $2. I don't know if you all remember that card.
Is that the Wrath All Non-Artifacts?
Yes, at your upkeep.
It's worth money. It's not great in 2021, but it is worth $6. So I guess that worked out. I bought those in 2016. Looks like I switched accounts here in 2016. Let's see what we got.
It's making me sad that I bought one copy of Stolen Strategy for $2.
Yeah, everything else I bought is just decks. It looks like I bought my 7 Toothies for $1.50 each.
Here's an entire budget EDH deck.
I switched to my Star City account to look for interesting
Ooh,
stuff.
Okay.
This is from 2017. And I think I used store credit for this. 75 copies of Rooftop Storm at $1 each.
There you go.
Which I could have sold for $15, but I was lazy and didn't notice it was in the Commander precon for Innistrad Midnight Hunt, and now they're like $3. So
yeah,
I will still complain.
This is the life cycle of how some are winners, some are losers, some are winners that you managed to lose on. And
winners that you managed to lose on.
Yeah, and occasionally we find losers that we manage to win on eventually.
That's the life.
It's the motto of this podcast.
You know, for every I bought Exquisite Blood at 75 cents, there's an equal and opposite. I sold Exquisite Blood for $2.11. You know?
Yep.
No kidding.
It's like, oh, I managed to turn all these Exquisite Bloods into Hammer of Perforoses. I'm a genius. Like,
it looks like at some point my purchase tree just started becoming Pokemon cards. So I got Venomoths, Flareons, Electrodes, Jolteons, Mimes, Scythers. No more Magic cards.
I found my Alpha Swamps for my Gonti deck that I bought from Star City.
Oh, what did you play on Alpha Swamps?
I paid $10 a piece for 20 Alpha Swamps on Star City, paid for with store credit. So I realistically paid like $7 or $8 a piece. And those are worth like 40, even in their Gonti condition now. They're like 40 a piece. But I play with them and I'm never selling them, so.
There you go. It's a good investment.
Oh my god, I found a bunch of seances on Cool Stuff Inc. also.
More seances!
Do you still have any of the seances, Jason?
I have all of the seances.
When
When it went up, I sold enough copies to break even, and then I sold the same number of copies again to double up. And then I have every other copy.
Well, Corbin, don't you remember? He posted on Reddit
he sure
offering
did.
Bitcoin for people to buy and burn seances.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Ryan Bouchard is actually the full story here. Ryan Bouchard used to be on this podcast. Ryan was the one who originally he just sold us on Seance so hard.
Well, we
we
built the deck, and then we went to regionals, and he got 9th place on bad tiebreakers. So we're like, if he top 8'd, people would be online looking at like, oh, this is interesting because the value you got. Remember, everybody from SCG was on that zombies deck, green black Golgari zombies deck, and this deck just crapped on it because on their attack phase you would make a Centaur healer.
Yeah, Centaur lifeguard or whatever.
Yeah, the 3. So you'd have a 3/3 blocker. Plus, you would gain 3 life, and you'd just block with it, and it would go away because of Seance. So the deck just shit on the zombies deck. So we're like, oh man, if you top 8'd, people would have seen it. And then we looked, and somebody else was playing a Seance deck, and they top 8'd in Arizona, and then somebody else top 8'd in like Utah or something like that. So we're like, oh, multiple top 8s for this card. So I was like, all right, I'm fully in. I bought in big. We talked about it on the podcast, and then everyone's like, yeah, we're playing Unburial Rites. It turns out. So, like, no one cared about Seance.
Yeah. And then somebody later on, a different person who was
a different person,
a different anonymous person who, to my knowledge, is not Jason or Ryan, went on Reddit, decided they were Seance guy, and started offering people money to burn seances.
In Bitcoin. In like 2013.
No kidding.
It was Bitcoin for finishing top 8 within your deck.
Sure, man.
He was like, I'll give you, it was like $3,000 or something like that worth of Bitcoin, which is probably $1.5 million today.
And then the card got reprinted. It's bulk forever. But we have a cool piece of custom art that we put out.
Yeah, and if it wasn't a good card, why'd they reprint it? So
that's a point.
People were playing Seance and Ghostway. It was awesome. It was like a Muldrifter deck in Modern. That's why Seance like popped up again. Like somebody actually did something with it, because it turns out it's value. Because if you get 0 mana to get back another ETB and a body, it's on both players' upkeeps. Yeah, it's very good.
All right, I found an order from October 21st, 2019. For those who don't know, that is the day that Pioneer was announced as a format.
Ooh, okay. So you were only a week late.
I bought 40 copies of 8 That Works Marvel from Star City.
Okay, how much did you pay?
$1 a piece.
Okay.
Because I was the first one to snag Aetherworks Marvels when everyone was still brainstorming what to do with the card. And then I think I sold them on Twitter for like $15 a playset, I think.
Yeah, you almost definitely made money on them, even though
I'll
it's not
take an
worth-
easy quadruple up.
I mean, that's the kind of opportunity, a new format like that. Now, if people remember, some of the stuff had gotten bought out. I don't remember the specific cards, but
Yeah, it was
there was clearly some advanced knowledge of that format that hit the mark.
And it sucks because like high level pro players are the ones that get that information and act on it, and we're the ones that get accused of doing that. Like it must be nice to have all the profit and none of the blame.
I mean, it's high level players, and then there's also like finance people that buy and then like don't have a podcast, so like they just stay shut about. They just like shut up about it, and they don't.
They
talk
buy
about it.
25 different specs, and one of them hits, and then they like post a pic on Reddit. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Any other? Ben lost interest in our specs. They were that bad, I guess, or they just blew his mind that much he couldn't handle any more of the awesome profit making picks that we made and put into our spreadsheet every week at patreon.com/bsb.
I found Kaladesh masterpieces for significantly less than what they are now in Star City.
That's not bad. Except
Gauntlet of Powers for $30 masterpiece.
You had to own some masterpieces for Mom and Cat, but
Unte Dake the Cloud Keeper. Because that was
Saffron Olive went on Twitter and called it a soul ring.
yeah, remember that? Yep.
That was the day the legendary change happened or whatever.
Planeswalkers, yep.
Yeah. They changed it so Planeswalkers were legendary. So I bought a bunch of Unte Dake the Cloud Keepers.
We were in Vegas. When that happened, we were in Vegas.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true either.
I do. I think we were.
It was
all
close.
I feel like I read that Soul Ring tweet in a car with you and Emily, and then we all laughed about it.
That's definitely possible. I'm trying to find. I guess eBay only goes back to 2019, so I can't check anything before January 2019 on eBay.
Unlucky. eBay doesn't want to see our greatest hits from 2014.
I found some greatest hits from 2019 on eBay.
Okay.
I found I spent $6,000 on eBay for a bunch of the Teferi Peer Through Time precons.
Yeah.
Because
It
they
seems
had
like every rare in that deck is popping.
It had Sapphire Medallion. It had Teferi Planeswalker at like $25. It had Thran Dynamos and all the Thought Vessels and stuff at their peak. And so they were like $40 a pop on eBay. But like I could buy list them for like 80 or something like that. So I just spent that much money.
And now it seems like every rare in that is just $5.
Sapphire Medallion refuses to get reprinted. Sapphire Medallion is still like 30 something. I found the original art for Talisman of Hierarchy less than 2 weeks after that. I paid too much for that painting, but I don't regret it. Interesting. I found our one chip challenge order on eBay.
Did we get good value, I hope?
I paid $80 for, I don't know if this was one chip or multiple, but it says $80 for the Packy one chip challenge, Carolina Reaper Badness.
That was a good one.
It was not good EV for my body.
But it was a good EV for the patrons.
Yes. Oh, so for my brother-in-law for Christmas, he's like one of those I eat ghost peppers as a light snack kind of guys.
Okay.
So I added Josh Lee Kwai on Twitter, and I was like give me the most lethal, just hot, spicy thing that you can put in a human being's body. And so he sent me a link to something called, it's a hot sauce called The End Flatline, like The End Flatline. And so that's what I bought as the Secret Santa for my brother-in-law.
Oh, because you want him to die.
I want him to feel something. He is yet to be challenged by hot sauce. He's one of like the gladiators in the arena who's like, I have yet yet to experience a challenge, but it's hot sauce, so like he hasn't experienced fire yet, I guess.
Unless it's a risk to my cardiovascular health, I'm
yeah,
not
I don't know.
interested.
There's a hot sauce specialty store in Destiny Mall, and he's like tried the hottest thing in there, and they're like, this will kill you, and he's like, meh. So I don't know if he's just doesn't have like taste buds or like neuro something wrong with his mouth and can't feel anything there, but I don't know. I'm hoping this works to some degree.
It sounds like it'll be a very spicy Christmas for you, at least. Well, you know, your family gatherings. So we'll see. All right. Well, everybody, our picks, I think, are impeccable, right? Isn't that the
unimpeachable?
Unimpeachable, he says. That makes sense. That makes sense. We are, of course, very good at this when we're not being very bad at this.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
It looks like a lot of successes and a lot of failures, but if you consider half of those successes failures because we either never sold them or didn't sell them at the right time, or sold them for 2 when they eventually went to 25, yeah,
Not bad all around.
this is what you asked for, but until I know what I got out all this stuff for, it's a really inaccurate picture. But I'm fine with an inaccurate picture because
What? This was fun
this is
to
our
look.
podcast. We want you to subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/BSB. So think we're good at this.
Everybody.
And think I'm smarter than these guys, so why don't you take our buying advice and then use your own selling advice and combine to make the ultimate MTG Finance Super Soldier.
There you go.
And just as a heads up to all the listeners and supporters, we did crowdsource questions for both Corbin and Jason's children, but we were unable to sync them up to get them on at the same time. So we do still have a backlist of questions that are not related to our own personal purchases, and we have your listener questions that we'd love to ask them. But 5-year-olds may or may not. We may or may not be subject to their schedules and not the other way.
You might as well
Correct.
podcast with a couple of cats.
No kidding. No kidding. But
So-
we'll get it in the future.
We
And
will
this
get
was fun.
Ben
This
and
was
Lily
fun.
on the cast simultaneously. And next week is our 2021 year-end recap, where we go over our own picks of the week from this year, go over the spreadsheet, go over just Magic as a whole in 2019. And that'll be on the docket for next week.
2021. Also 2021.
What did I say?
2019.
Did I?
Yeah.
Let's go to the tape.
Next week will also be a fun episode, I think. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. For Brainstorm Brewery, we hope you have great holidays, a happy new year. We're looking forward to 2022. Hope you decide to spend some of it with us. We'll see you next week.